amount. It's not what I want to do, it's not what I think, it's not how I want to create things. You guys make things in different ways and different tools, and it's completely different. But the cool thing is, the way that media and everything is distributed now, programming and traditional forms of media such as television are blurring. So this is why I'm here really to talk about what that means to me and my company and what we're doing.
What's the coolest framework you guys have used?
Java.
Spring.
Oh, Spring, really?
So that's me, Ben Kidd. My studio. Hamilton comes from my studio partner Tom Hamilton. We worked together for loads of years, and both were working at a company that owned us, and we didn't like that anymore. So we left and started a company for ourselves. We're just down the road in Chiswick, Shepherd's Way, and we just got a nice little studio with about 10 15 workstations all set up for distributed rendering and trying to make it an environment so that when we're creatively working on something, it's the right environment. And I'm sure some of you guys have probably worked in the wrong environment and you know the difference for when you work in the right environment. This will speak for what I do. There's a mix of bits there. There's television, there's web. There isn't any film on there, but we have worked on a couple of movie films, which is nice. We have, up until now, been very brand orientated. They're the people that hire us. Some of the people that we've worked for in the past and are currently working for. Nickelodeon's a big client for us. They hand us pretty awesome projects. Something in the show where you might have seen was the Nickelodeon sat in the meadow. That was done just recently, and the brief was like, it's spring, Nickelodeon. Can you make us an item, please? Yeah. So what the hell has any of this got to do with what you guys do? Well, the software-wise and architecture-wise, it's not so different. There's polygons, there's shaders, there's bits of code that go into making these things. He's going to have, expressions in his knuckles so that, when I move his hand, it automatically does something. There's a very similar but disconnected world between what I'm doing and what a lot of you guys are doing, and I'm hoping to connect that because from my point of view, I'm quite often trying to do something, and with my mechanical brain, who just wants to bang nails into stuff, I can't do it. I need to get in under the bonnet, change software, make software, and I don't have the skills or the people to do that. So that's why I'm kind of here to, selfish reasons, to meet you guys and get more connections. Then other way around, some of the things that we can produce might be really useful to you guys. Artwork, content. You can take a game that, maybe is falling a little flat for some reason in terms of user experience, put in someone else's way of looking at things, i.e. motion graphic design or a 3D artist or a storyteller, or a storyteller from a book point of view, not individual. And they'll come at it from a completely different point of view and maybe give you guys a different steer. I've kind of been working in this environment a little while already. This is some social networking stuff that's coming out. We've been doing promotional animation for this. In fact, our animation for their platform won them their place on the Collider 12 program where they've been funded to produce it. Another example of where we've produced the animation showing how a customer would use it. So the customer goes on the website and we produce the animation for how and why we should use it. This is something we're working on at the moment. I'm quite excited about this. This is a children's book game. What you're actually seeing here is my animation I produced in After Effects, and we've ported it out into Cocos really badly, but it works. It's just a test, it's just a development. What you're seeing over here with all this code is every single frame of that animation, there's an instruction over time for its position and its rotation, its scale and its opacity for every single object. That tail is made up of 20 individual pieces, the ears, the eyes, the nose, everything. The reason we've done this is because you'll know the resolution of an iPad 2 is massive, it's huge. Uncompressed animation of that fox for that same duration is 4 gig. I'm not going to hand you guys 4 gig, you're going to hand it straight back. You won't even read the email. So, doing this method, I was sending the developer 1 megabyte files, an XML and some PNGs. There's no animated sprites, there's no movie files, there's no distortion. It's not doing anything other than dancing on the iPad, but visually that fox is doing what it's supposed to do, and you tap it and it does things and it entertains kids. And another example, boring, branded, but again, this is the sort of thing we do where we're producing content that then goes out that Salesforce might want to use, and if you're promoting your apps, you need to show people you're trying to get funding for your apps, your games, you need to be able to explain to people, this app may or may not exist. I think it does exist, this particular one. I'm not working on this, Tom is. But this could be an example where you haven't even built your game yet, you haven't built your app yet, you may have just conceptualized it, and before you spend hours, days, months coding it, you might just want to get a proof of concept, be able to walk into a room, show people, this is what we want to create, they go, brilliant, nice one, do it, here's 100 grand, go for it. Well, that's going to happen, but it can happen. So yeah, that's us. You know, if that tickles your fancy, you know where to find me. I'm interested in hearing from you guys. We've got a couple of things boiling away at the moment. I'd probably like to come back at some stage and talk to you guys a bit more about what we're thinking, but if you've got an interest in making animation a part of your game, content as nice as you want to get it, then I'm your man. So that's it. Thank you. Yeah, because I mean, if you said, I've got this really minimalistic brand, it's so cool, it's called Cube, and I would like a 4-minute animation of the cube on screen, I can't charge you very much for that, because it's just a cube on screen. If you say, my brand is, here's a list, here's a document 4 pages long about my brand, it's going to take me a day, 2 days, 5 days to understand what it is you should be doing, so I'll be charging that time as well. That's without even building anything. So really, it's difficult to put specific costs on things.
Is it in the hundreds or the thousands?
Thousands, yeah, for sure, because I reckon, I'm not sure, I'd have to probably work with you guys to know, but I reckon we've probably got a similar workflow turnaround time. There's a lot of messing around and changing and fixing and problem solving before you get to your final result. It's difficult to say in units, but 30 seconds of Well, okay, look, I'll give you an example. That Nickelodeon piece with the meadow, that's 4 seconds long, and we spent 15 days on it. So 15 days at a decent freelancer's rate, even a cheap freelancer's rate, is sort of $250 a day, a sort of base rate for someone good. They're probably not going to produce that for you, $250 a day, but that's the sort of range you're talking about. It can get quite expensive, but I mean, that's without going to the mill or someone else who's going to be then putting on overhead on top of that. So where we're small at the moment.
And regarding the people you're looking to work with, is there something that you're looking to contract out programmers, or are you looking to maybe do a revenue split based on a project, or what's your strategy yet?
We were discussing this today actually, because we've got something we're quite excited about, and we have no idea how much it's going to cost. I'll probably ask you the same question: how much would that cost? And you probably go, well, I need to know lots and lots more about it. In which case, we would probably go create it. We're going to create a concept for it, pitch it out, find the people that we think are about right, pitch it out to them, say how much do you think you would want to create that. Based on their answer, we might buy off them in terms of just like, we'll hire you done. Or we may have to say, look, we can't give you 40 grand there and then, because we just don't have that money, or whatever the situation is, what we have the investment to do it. So if you believe in this and you think you're as excited about it as we are, we think we're probably going to put about the same amount of time as you are into it, and so therefore a revenue split is probably a good way to go. Especially is that you've got people's vested interest in it more than just their bank balance. The harder they work for something, if it's a revenue split, the more likely they're going to really break it back and get it nice. Because we break our back, like, if all of that stuff, a lot of it's over budget, but we over deliver on almost everything for our clients, because if it's a job that's worth doing right and it's going to wind up on my showroom, it's going to win my next job, it's worth that extra percentage of energy that I pour into it. And then I just kind of let the client know, by the way, yeah, there's like a little bit more than that, because otherwise you get in a nasty situation where they keep coming back to you, giving you nothing and expecting everything. Thank you guys.